Now, German media say up to 1.5 million asylum seekers are expected to arrive in the country this year. The forecast was given by government officials. The officials had previously estimated that no more than 1 million refugees will arrive in Germany. Meanwhile, German Finance Minister Wolfgang Schäuble has called for limiting the number of asylum seekers arriving in Europe. The continent is grappling with an influx of refugees who are fleeing wars in the Middle East and Africa. Let's cross over to Paris and speak to Geroid O'Colmain. He's a political analyst and a journalist, and he joins us via Skype. Mr. Colmain, thank you very much for joining us here on Press TV. Now, despite saying that Europe needs to reduce the influx of refugees, Wolfgang Schäuble hasn't recommended what steps need to be taken. What do you think he's going to say as far as that is concerned?
Well, first of all, I think we need to broaden our understanding of what is happening in this current phase of the refugee crisis. The first point we need to make here is, first of all, the Western powers caused the refugee crisis. That's clear. The second point is that they're not all Syrian. There are many other nationalities in the flow of refugees, migrants to Europe. The third point is that there are very serious issues to do with border control in Europe. Right now, there doesn't seem to be any more border control in Germany. The situation in Munich is pretty much out of control. You also have fake passports that are circulating around. So a lot of Syrian passports are being distributed, and a lot of people are declaring themselves Syrian. Now, there's a broader geopolitical problem here. We need to understand that the United States control of Europe is based on preventing German integration with Eurasia. So the entire the war in Syria, the war in Ukraine is based on the Mackinder model of geopolitics, dividing Germany from Russia. Now, the refugees or migrants, we don't know who exactly, are being sent up through the Balkans, up into Germany. Germany is the main focus here of this mass migration. Sweden is also a focus. Denmark is also a focus. Germany has been getting closer and closer and closer to Russia. They've signed major new agreements with the Russians to increase Nord Stream, which is the delivery of gas from Russia into Germany. Germany has huge investment project for Iran, for example, in the automobile industry. Volkswagen were very interested in investing in Iran. We've seen a Volkswagen crisis, very much again linked to U.S. policing of the German industry. So there's a lot of things here that need to be discussed in terms of understanding this crisis. What I see happening with this flow of refugees is the weaponization of refugees. A lot of the NGOs who are smuggling refugees across the Mediterranean are basically defying EU law, EU regulations. You've got NGOs like MedWatch. MedWatch are involved in the scam of trying to get refugees out of Eritrea, for example. Eritrea is another country that is being targeted by U.S. imperialism. Many of these refugees are actually not from Eritrea, they're from Ethiopia, but they're being registered as Eritrean when they arrive in the EU. So there's a huge geopolitical strategy to inundate Germany with people from the Middle East, and while at the same time drumming up Islamophobia. So you're seeing Islamophobia is being drummed up, but also you've got a further complication that there are actually many ISIS terrorists in among these refugees. The official French statistics on the refugees says that 95% of them are males between 25 and 35. So these are so there's something very strange about what's happening, and there doesn't seem to be any attempt by the EU to implement normal border regulations. In fact, the only country
Mr. Colmain, let me just jump in there. We are running out of time. Then what is the solution to what many describe as Europe's refugee problem?
The solution, I think, for Europe is to get out of the alliance with the United States. If Germany can sort of wake up and realize that German businesses only have a future in Eurasia, Russia, China, Iran, that is the only future for Germany. They need to get out of the United States. They need to get the United States off their back. And they need to realize that the United States caused this war. They caused the war in Syria. This is a U.S.-Israeli operation. And they need to realize that they need to start implementing measures to get out of that relationship with the United States and to move towards a more integrated approach to doing business with Russia and China. And if they do that, then I think the force will be on the side of Russia, China, and Iran, and the war in Syria will stop. So really, this is really about preventing Germany from leaving NATO, because this is basically what Germany, I think, is going to have to do if it's to survive economically.
Okay.
And so we need to understand the geopolitics of this, which is extremely complex, but it's very well thought out, and we would need a lot more time to discuss it. But it's something that hasn't been discussed, and it's something that's of extreme importance here.
All right, let's leave it there for now. That's Geroid O'Colmain, political analyst and journalist, joining us via Skype from Paris. Mr. Colmain, thank you very much indeed for sharing your thoughts and comments here on Press TV.